The third Sam Raimi Spider-Man film has one good lesson. Revenge can turn us into something ugly. And sure enough, it's true. You know what? People say what they want about the third Spider-Man movie, but I like it mainly because it has a good message. Like I said before, no to revenge. This movie screams that from start to finish. The reason I want to bring up the topic of revenge is because it does turn us into something ugly. It turns us into criminals. Those guys, Columbine killers, they chose revenge over speaking. What's wrong with speaking? I mean, when I was in school, when I was getting bullied, I was speaking to my mother and father all the time about what was going on. What they were saying to me, how they were bullying me, who they even looked like, even gave them their names, and my mother and father worked hard to stop it. They really did, and God bless them for trying so hard. And what got me out? New school. You can't ask for better parents. So, revenge, what I learned from the Columbine High School shooting is revenge would turn you into those guys. Like when you look at the footages of the tapes that they took a short time before the shooting, and you don't see. When I first saw the tapes, I just saw they didn't have any life in them. They just kind of looked like they let go, and they didn't, they weren't grasping what else they could have done. I can imagine their parents would have done a lot, like mine did. I also saw what happened with Carl V. Erickson, the retired man who really held a grudge. I mean, yes, high school's revenge stories are, they make good movies, but they're also quite sad real life stories. And there's that saying in the Gift trailer, can bygones ever be bygones? They can if you allow the bygone to be a bygone. For me, I chose to move on because, quite honestly, my father kind of also told me what revenge would have done as well. What my father did was, he said, remember those Columbine shooters, son? You saw what they did? And also look at what the other people do when they act revenge. They go to prison, they get charged, they serve time in prison. It doesn't just turn into something ugly. It also takes away our life as well. Some people would, like the officer who arrested Mark David Chapman, he actually, when he locked him in his car, and I saw this on an interview, he turned around and looked at him straight in the eye and he said, do you realize that you threw your whole life away? Because that's what you do. You take someone else's life, you also take away your life. And I saw this on Dr. Phil, a former gangbanger named Joseph was on the show, and he said, there's nothing cool about taking life. There is nothing cool about taking someone's life. It's heartbreaking. When I heard about the Florida shooting that happened on Valentine's Day 2018, I was shaken. I even did a video about that, which I'll put at the link below. I remember talking to my friend at church one day, and I told her this is how I feel, and she said, and she and I had a long discussion about what should happen and what might happen. I said to her, I think this guy needs to be put into a hospital. I believe that he can be rehabilitated into being a good citizen to waltz around in the streets as a redeemed, a good changed man. And she said, bullying will just do that to you.